Sitting in my chair late at night, watching crime unfold under the pale moonlight. From the darkest corner, stories unfold. True crime jewels, she's brash and she is bold. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From missing kids in Tennessee to angry husbands named Barry. True crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This True Crime Jewels got what you need. From missing people to twisted minds, we're unraveling secrets old Barry tried to hide. Every clue, every twist and turn. In the world of crime, there's always more to learn. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From Christopher's anger to Stephen Fisher's lies. The truth is calling, and justice won't be denied. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. True Crime Jewels on the YouTube streets. Likes are low, suspense is high. We're chasing truth, we spot every lie. Step into the darkness, hold on tight. Two flashlights out there in the dead of night. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep. Barry Morphew's case is hot. A boy in Tennessee won't be left behind. From the coldest cases to the ones that shine. True crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This True Crime Jewels got what you need. We're always watching Barry and waiting for the truth. In the world of crime, we discuss the proof. So hit that play and join the True Crime journey with Jewels of Thought and her Gemstone family.
All right, everybody, welcome. I hope you guys are doing very, very well. I wanted to talk about the inflictional pain, the intentional pain, infliction of pain on others, and what kind of a psychopath do you have to be? How high in psychopathy do you have to be to willingly torture another person? Now, of course, there's physical torture coming in the way of, restraints, beatings with belts, that sort of thing. But there's also psychological torture, right? Psychological torture comes in many forms, and it can be as damaging, perhaps not deadly, but definitely as damaging to one's ability to live a healthy, happy life as anything physical could certainly ever be. And we have, in fact, had plenty of people bullied so extensively that they have made a decision to take their own lives. So those people that are actively engaging in bullying, you might want to ask yourself, just how high in psychopathy are you? How cruel are you? And if you feel like your bullying is not cruel, well, you may want to explore that a little bit, because ostracization of another human being, gaslighting, the destruction of one's reputation, all of those things are bullying. They are damaging, and they can have lifelong effects. And you might want to ask yourself why it is that you're that person that would actually get sadistic delight in hurting, let's say, another YouTube creator or perhaps some subscribers, okay? So in the 1960s at Yale University, there were a series of experiments that were done. They were done by a psychologist, Stanley Milgram. You would never get away with that type of research in today's world. However, before the safeguards that had been put put in place at the institutional level now. The Milgram experiments really provided a shocking level of insight for just how awful human beings can be. And we don't have to be awful for some big purpose. Like, I'll give you $1 million if you'll shock this person to death. No. We don't ask for $1 million. According to the Milgram experiments, we're happy to shock someone to death just because there is an authority figure in the room with us. So all of you creators who are bullying people, you got to ask yourself, who's driving this ship? Who's asking you to target one creator and bully her into kingdom come? And what if you were the one that was being targeted, that all these creators were making hit pieces on you, saying things about you that were not true, destroying your reputation, tearing down the business that you built on YouTube? How would you feel if it was directed toward you? Now, in the Milgram studies, the participants were told that they were doing an experiment on learning and memory. Each of the participants was paired with another participant. One would be called the teacher, the other one was the learner. And they would pick like a little piece of paper out of a hat to say, okay, well, you're going to be the teacher and you're going to be the learner. So it all looked like it was really random. The people that were chosen to be hidden in a room to receive electrical shock, they were always the learner. And they're actually called, when you do this in experimentation, they're actually called a confederate. And a confederate is an actor. It's someone who knows the researcher and they've been trained on what the research project is and what the questions of the research project are. And they're working along with the experimenters, right? The participants do not know that the confederate is actually part of the experiment. They don't know that. They just think they're another participant. So in these experiments, the teacher, who was actually the subject of study, the teacher was instructed to administer electric shocks to the confederate, the learner, by saying, you got the wrong answer, right? So they'll ask them a question, and if the person hidden in the booth gave the wrong answer, then they had to administer the shocks. The shocks started out relatively light. The participants were able to shock themselves at the lowest level to see that it kind of felt uncomfortable. But each time the confederate, got the wrong answer, the participant had to increase the level of shock. So after about 5 or 6 wrong answers, it was pretty horrible. You were getting way on up there, 100 volts, 150 volts. And the confederate who was hidden away, he was intentionally giving wrong answers, forcing the participant to increase the shock. And they wanted to see how far will the teacher go in administering the shock when they can see the volts that they're administering and they hear the discomfort later on, actual pain and agony of the person that they are shocking. Now, the confederate's not really getting shocked. They're in on the experiment. They're just an actor. They're playing along. The participant doesn't know, and the participant actually believes, hey, I'm really doing this, right? So let me show, there is some video here. I didn't go all the way through. Well, I'm just going to start it. Not sure where it picks up. Here we go.
Unjust regimes and participate in atrocities such as the Holocaust. He set up.
So this was happening during the time of the Nuremberg trials, and a big question in the world culturally, big question was, how did Hitler get the German people to go along with the Holocaust? How did they get the people to accept the camps? Why didn't the German people revolt? Why didn't the Polish revolt against what was happening? I mean, people just willingly loaded up in these cow trains and were taken off to these camps. The German people had heard what was going on, but they didn't want to believe it. They told themselves it couldn't be happening. But some of them were working for the Nazis. So they knew the reality of what was happening. Even over here in the United States, our politicians, our people, we were on record saying these are just rumors that are common to war. They may be isolated incidents, but they're not really killing thousands or tens of thousands of people. And, unfortunately, when the Allied troops got there and went into the camps, they learned that it had all actually been exactly true. And there were millions dead. And we never quite got over it. We never figured out how we as human beings could be so abjectly cruel, psychopathically detached, that we could literally send tens of thousands of people to their death every day, men, women, and children. We just couldn't believe it. And so the Milgram experiments were actually looking at disobedience, or I guess it's more accurate to say obedience to authority figures. Because when they had the Nuremberg trials, a lot of people said, I was doing my job. I was told that I had to do this. I was told that that's what I would do. We were in a state of war. And so, in those extreme circumstances, you're working for a country, a crazy man who is not just murdering people, but conducting human experiments. I mean, it was Dr. Moreau's Island. I mean, it was just the whole Germany was just a crazy place. The more Hitler used amphetamine, the crazier he got, and nobody would stand up to him because they were afraid for their own lives. But also this human factor that about, 2/3 of us, we are followers. 2/3 of us will do whatever we are told by an authority figure, either perceived authority or real authority. And that's fairly horrifying. And if you find yourself, this is an example of, shocking, believing you may be killing someone or harming someone through electricity. But make no mistake about it. If you've joined up with 5, 7, 10 other creators, and you're all focusing on one other creator who in no way has matched you blow for blow, the kind of pain and humiliation that you guys have inflicted on her, you may be a psychopath, or you just may be like 2/3 of the human race, willing to do whatever you are told.
An experiment. Volunteers were told they were taking part in scientific research to improve memory.
Could you open those and tell me which of you is which footed? The teacher.
Separated by a screen, the teacher would ask the learner questions in a word game and administer an electric shock when the answer was incorrect. He was told to increase the voltage with each wrong answer.
Cloud. Horse. Rock. House. Answer. Wrong. 150 volts. Answer. Horse.
Experiment. That's all. Get me out of here. Get me out of here, please.
Continue, please. Go right on.
I refuse to go on. Let me out.
The experiment requires you continue, teacher. Please continue.
Participants didn't know that the learner was really an actor, and the so-called...
And notice the authority figure, he's not being threatening. He's not being aggressive. He's not even saying, hey, if you don't do it, you're going to lose your $4 an hour that we're paying you to be a part of this experiment. He just says, it's important that we continue the experiment. Imagine that. You don't even have to have a direct order. If you just feel like you're supposed to do what you're told, you are capable of great horror to other human beings.
Called shocks harmless.
You only got a shock, 180 volts.
I can't stand the pain. Let me out of
You
here.
can't stand it now. I'm not going to kill that man, eh? I mean, who's going to take the responsibility if anything happens to that gentleman?
I'm responsible for anything that happens here. Continue, please.
All right, next one, slow. Walk.
This is being done for $4. Now, $4 in 1963 was not the same as $4 today. $4 was probably somewhere around like $20. No, maybe $100.
Music.
2/3 of volunteers were prepared to administer a potentially fatal electric shock when encouraged to do so by what they perceived as a legitimate authority figure. In this case, a man in a white coat.
375 volts. I think something's happened to that fellow in there. I don't get no answer. He was hollering on less voltage. Can't you check in and see if he's all right, please?
Milgram's findings horrified America. They showed that decent American citizens were as capable of committing acts against their conscience as the Germans had been under the Nazis.
Okay. The actual value of $4 in 1963, if we adjust for today's dollars, the actual amount is $40.36. That means these people were willing to shock people up to 450. Was it 450 volts? I got an old brain. Was it 450? I think it was I think it was 450 volts. Basically 3 steps over what you'd need to kill you, right? So these people willingly for $40 agreed to not only torture physically through volts, escalating volts, but 2/3 were willing to go all the way up to a deadly level. So let's see if there were a full 65% of participants that administered the highest level of shock, enough to kill a person who was in relatively good shape. Anything above 180, if you had been shocking someone that had something like like a cardiac, like heart disease or something like that, could have killed them, right? So there are videos, this particular example, because I was looking for something that would be fairly brief. There were people that were literally weeping. Like, I've seen the whole series of experiments. There were people weeping, like in so much agony, because they were knowingly escalating the voltage and then hitting the shock, and they would argue back with the authority figure and say, this isn't fair, this isn't right, we shouldn't be doing this. And all the authority figure could say, the authority figure has to say the same exact response to every participant. They cannot vary in order for your experiment to be legitimate. And they would just say, it's important that we continue the experiment. And so you just see these poor people just crying and crying and crying. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. And the authority figure, in a very calm voice, it's important that we continue the experiment. And they'd hit it again. And you just think, how? Now, following the experiments, not often talked about what happened after the participants completed the experiment, they were provided access to therapy. And a shocking level of those participants took the therapy. Now, the reason why that is shocking is because most human subjects experiments, not back then, but certainly today, most experiments where you are knowingly manipulating a person, it doesn't have to be manipulating them to doing something that would go against their morals or their values, but just having been a part of an experiment where maybe you learned something about yourself that you didn't previously know. We offer access to so many sessions of therapy to help you sort of adjust to the new knowledge about yourself. We only get about 12% of people that will take you up on your offers for therapy, right? Because people don't care. They're like, I'm fine. It's nothing. So what? I know I'm like that, right? They don't care. In this particular case, Milgram's experiment, during a period of time where it was in fact not commonplace to offer therapy services for people that were just a part of an experiment or a human subjects experiment, it was some crazy number, like over 70% of the people took the therapy because they were so traumatized by what they had experienced that they developed symptoms of PTSD. Is that amazing? That they will willingly shock someone to a level of death, all because some guy in a white coat says it's important that we continue the experiment. And they just couldn't. Now, I have tried to put myself in those positions, and I feel fairly certain that I probably would have told the authority figure to go F themselves. I just couldn't have done. I mean, I know that I couldn't have, right? Because I have found myself at times in my life intervening, like when I would see a little kid that was being mistreated by a parent. I don't mean a parent that's scolding them, but I mean like this one lady said to the little boy, do you want me to get this wooden spoon out of my purse and hit you? And all the little kid was trying to do was to get his grandma to look at a Christmas decoration that they had just put out. And he was super excited. And she was just an old biddy. And when she said, well, you want me to take that wooden spoon out of my purse and hit you? Then, before I even knew it, my fight or flight kicked in. And I said, well, let me ask you a question. Would you like me to get that wooden spoon out of your purse and hit you with it? No, he doesn't want you to hit him. He wants you to look at the pretty decoration. So that, I've had a couple of those instances in my life, and it's kind of knee jerk. I don't plan it. It just happens. And in my brain, I'm going, feet, stop moving. Where are you taking me? And it's usually taking me to a confrontation. So I'm definitely fight when it comes to fight or flight. But anyway, so with the Milgram's experiment, these people were pushed to their limits to the point that they experienced PTSD as a result of the pain they inflicted on other people. They were shocked and horrified to find out that they were a bad person, quote unquote, in their words. Many of them ended up unable to work, their primary relationship falling apart. This was a terrible experience for them to go through, finding this out about themselves. And yet, we've got people right here on YouTube who are willing to band together the belly of the beast. They're willing to band together to target one creator for a slight that happened years and years and years and years and years ago with Natasha Cooper, not with Natasha Cooper, but during that period of time when Natasha Cooper was really successful on YouTube. and they don't mind. Like Jay has had, Brittany has not done a single thing against Jay. In fact, Brittany used to kind of really support Jay and her channel and tell people to go watch her. And she's got a good channel, was being kind. And man, she paired up with Granny's Watching, and it has been a nightmare, truly. So it is now the level of bullying that she has experienced is just, it's pretty disturbing at this point. It was upsetting for a little while, and it was like, just ignore it. They're jealous. Your channel is successful. You're doing great. You're growing. Jay's channels were not growing. In fact, they were falling behind, and she had previously experienced a high level of success. So I'm sure that was hard for Jay. And they just all kind of found each other through this mutual disapproval or dislike of, oh, she supports Seth. And that was all it took. And then they have their army together. And it's not, interestingly enough, in my opinion, I don't think it is, let's support Katie and Christopher. I really think the thing that binds this group together, you've got Queen Bee and her regular panel. You've got Granny's Watching and her regular panel. There's some crossover too between Queen Bee and Granny's Watching. And then Jay is for Justice. And I think it is, I think it's more of getting the drama views, that if they're bullying, people think it's funny. They like it, I suppose, somehow. But you know what? If you're enjoying that night after night after night, are you sadistic? Is it a fun thing to watch another person suffer? Why does destroying someone's channel, when you know, like here's the problem. You know that the channel income is household income to this family, right? Like, you target me, you take down my channel, whatever. I'm not even going to notice that it's gone. This is not my job. Most of my videos, I don't even turn monetization on, because I think it's irritating to try to watch a video and then it's got commercials. It bothers me. Some of the more difficult topics, like Sebastian, I don't want that distraction. It's just my call. It's my decision. Don't want the money to be an issue. If I do a video like where I'm using my Camtasia and kind of like adding music and doing cuts and all that, then I'll monetize it. A couple of things in the beginning and a couple of the, commercials at the end. But I just, I don't make hardly anything, a couple $100, whatever super chats are, really, for the most part. I don't make anything on my channel. So, and that's my, I like you guys. Y'all are my friends. This is my leisure time. I enjoy talking about these cases and joking around with you guys, and it's fun for me. But for another creator, like let's say Gray Hughes is one, that's his income, that's his family income. Brittany J, family income. Some of these creators, this matters to them. They're building a business, right? They're trying to construct a business that will make it possible to clothe their children and feed their children. They're not interested in drama. They just want to try to put out content that people will enjoy watching. And if you are part of that group, that you think it would be fun to take this person's channel down, to destroy what they've worked on, you think it's fun to make up lies about them being drug addicts. Why? What's wrong with you? Like, the Milgram experiments show us 2/3 of people are followers. meaning they're weak. They're psychologically, their ego is weak. They don't have the personal identity and integrity to know where their principles lie and to support their principles. They don't have it. That it's not there. They are simply following the 1/3 that are strong, principled, ego-driven people. Like Queen Bee, for example. Queen Bee, she ain't a follower. You know what I mean? She thinks her thoughts and she says what she thinks. And I'm not saying it's healthy or unhealthy or good or bad. I'm not saying nothing socially desirable. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying, like Hitler, you have your thoughts, you have your beliefs, you state them, even knowing that 2/3 of the people will either agree or disagree. They just have the integrity or the principles to stand up and state what they believe, and they don't care what you think at all. Well, that is unfortunate. If the person that has this ego-driven strength, if you're being a hurtful person, you got 2/3 of the people following you. It's very disturbing. So I do understand that if by speaking out, I don't know. I don't think I've spoken out before and I don't get targeted too much. Maybe a little comment here and there, but not anything, but I run the chance of that, right? Speaking out, you do run the possibility that somebody may decide to start bullying you, but I don't care if I get bullied. So it doesn't matter to me. What's happening though to Brittany J and to Seth Rogers, that bothers me very much. It bothers me with Brittany. It's gone on way too long. Way too long. It has been happening for months, and it's multiple channels, and the lies are unbelievable. The actual, how do I say it? The toxicity of what they say to each other, the things that they find funny, it's kind of scary. I'm not going to lie. There's a couple of people in this group, they kind of scare me. They're kind of bothering me, like, how many bodies you got buried in your backyard? They kind of scare me a little bit because they're so, I got to be so careful what I say. The things that they say and that they think is appropriate, the things they think is funny, the majority of us think is abhorrent, right? We think it's abhorrent. Like, I can't imagine, I don't even think I can say it. The example that I want to use, I can't even say it because it's just too stupid. I just can't say it, but take my word for it. So you have to realize that these people are inflicting immense harm on Brittany. They're involving her children, her young children, as well as her adult children. They're attacking her husband unmercifully. For what reason? What is the reason? Like, Jay is really good at making hit videos. She's really good at bullying and being hurtful to people, hurting their feelings. She's really, really good at that. I would like for her to put out a video where she's really explaining what it is about Brittany J that has warranted this 3-month assault on her that is completely baseless. Like, if you don't like the fact that she supports Seth, if you don't like the fact that she doesn't believe the story that's been put out by Christopher and Katie Proudfoot, I get it. couple of videos, hell, even a month of videos. I'm good. Do it. We're talking about a quarter of a year, 3 months, 1/4 of a year has been telling the same tired lies and gaslighting about this one little creator. For what slight? Like, what did she do to you? Like, sincerely, I don't understand what would warrant this. And you think, yeah, but why are you coming out now and speaking out? Because I bit my tongue, because it's been going on so long, and I just keep thinking, don't say anything, they'll quit. Don't say no. I don't think they're going to quit. I think now Britney is so influential that this large group of people have all come together, and their sole goal is to just hate Britney. It's like all the people that hate, Trump or hate Biden. It's so weird, because here's the problem. Trump and Biden, those are powerful, influential people, right? Those are people that have charisma, and they're affecting big lives. Britney's trying to make a YouTube channel that will pay the electricity bill and have some money left over to feed her kids. I'm not sure what there is to hate about that. In fact, in the United States of America, most people would find that honorable. For a woman in 2025 to be able to engineer a life where she can be available for her special needs child, be a stay-at-home mom for her school-age children, to be there to help her adult children during the day, but still work a full-time job at night so that there's money to keep everything going, to keep the lights on. Most people in my life would find that to be a really hardworking, industrious person worthy of respect. That's why I don't understand where Cluminati and the rest of them, where are you coming from that you don't think that this is honorable? You brag about that you're someone whose man is able to take care of you so you don't have to work, right? That's what you kind of taunt others with, that idea that my man's so good that I don't have to work. I can if I want to, but I don't have to work because Cletus is going to take good care of me, right? And that's great if that's what you want to do. But sometimes we don't get that. Sometimes the woman has to be the mom and the breadwinner. And I don't know I don't have to work. I don't have to work if I don't want to work. I love what I do. I love my work. So I don't understand why that would be a position for Clue to hate Britney, to attack her nonstop all the time. Why? Because she is managing to be a stay-at-home mom, multiple kids, both small kids and adult. She's able to be present, be there with them during the day, and then she works a full-time job at night into the early morning hours to make a real paycheck. Why is that not honorable, Clue? I don't understand the hate. I really don't understand the hate. Queen Bee will say, oh, well, they're attacking Katie and Chris. They're bad people because they're attacking Katie and Chris. They're the parents of a missing kid. You shouldn't do victim blaming and victim shaming. Wait a minute, Queen. The things you say about Seth are unrepeatable. So that's not why you hate Britney. What's the real story here? Jay doesn't have a single thing happening with Britney, but she buddied up with Granny's Watching, and Granny's Watching is so filled with anger, vile hatred from things that happened years ago, and she is eat up with she is just consumed by this compulsion with Brittany. I'm going to destroy her. One of these days, I'm going to destroy her. One of these days, I'm going to get her. Why? Why is it so important, Granny? Why is it so important? You literally are going to find yourself in a courtroom for what? For what? I've heard that even the name Granny's Watching, which I thought strange because you're a young woman, so why would you be calling yourself Granny? My understanding, maybe I've been misled, but I've been told that the whole Granny's Watching thing was based on when Natasha Cooper's grandmother died. So we're talking about like what, 2018, 2019, perhaps? Natasha Cooper's grandma died, apparently, and it was really hard because she was, they were a very close family. And Granny took the name Granny's Watching as a bullying move toward Natasha, that it was done to harm, to like make Natasha uncomfortable. Is that true? I mean, some people say that. So it's, I don't know. Her mom should delete any of the comments chatters bring to her stream. So-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. It's tiresome and detrimental to the live streams. Sunset Gazing, 100%. I am 100% with you on that. I have said that. I've lived it myself. I had these two crazy ass people that I was even stalked. I was followed to my workplace. It was weird as hell. YouTube creators experience weird stuff that it's hard to understand unless you've lived it. And I have learned, you should see my block list, by the way. My block list is literally probably hundreds of names. And the reason that it is so extensive is the minute I see any foolishness, I just block. I don't time out. I don't give them warnings. This morning, earlier, I answered playfully, but most of the times I'm not even going to answer. I'm just going to block them, just depending on what's happening. And then I don't unblock. They're done. I'm finished. I don't have time for this. This is supposed to be a channel for fun and spending time with you guys. And I'm not going to do it. So at some point, yeah, it does derail the live, Sunset Gazing. Trying to keep up with it and read it, it does. It messes up the entire thing. It does it to me. That's one of the reasons that I learned, don't feed the trolls, leave them alone, get them out of sight, out of mind. That was number one. The other thing that I did when I was going through this, and some of you guys like, I don't know, like Sketty Nona and who else was, let's see, Meezer Mom was there. Some of the people that, have been here since the beginning of my channel. I told everyone, I said in my channel, do not tell me what you see in other lives. I don't want to know if people are talking about me. I don't care. Don't send me clips. Don't send me screenshots. I don't care. Don't send them to me. I don't care. Because the only thing I wanted with this channel was to hang out with you guys and talk about true crime or trials, things like that, right? So I just don't, I just don't factor it. Look, people can say whatever they want to say. It's always a lie. Nobody knows us on here. Why care if somebody's making up lies about you? Why care? Why answer to it? So thank you, Retha. You're a sweetheart. Thank you so much. You know what, Reach at the Sky? I don't think there's any way that you will ever make peace. I mean, because let's face it, people that get sadistic delight in the destruction of an innocent person, those people are not really motivated by peace or happiness. That's not really what they're after. They're after a sense of power and control. And when they make someone cry or they cause someone to lose their channel, they like that feeling of power. They like that feeling, camaraderie for sure, Aretha. I think the camaraderie that comes with being a bullying group, a group of mean girls, I think there are sadists that enjoy that feeling of, hey, I'm a badass, and if you mess with me, I'm going to kick your ass. Ha, ha, ha. And that people like that don't have any idea that the rest of us that are sane, we listen to that and we go, okay, wait a minute. What's going wrong here that a 40-year-old thinks it's cool to threaten and brag about beating up a woman? Like, why is that a thing for you? That's kind of strange. Don't you think you ought to surpass kindergarten? That kind of, if I don't like what you're going to say, I'm going to punch you in the nose. That's a child's way. That's a child's mindset. So yeah, it's weird. So I'm not sure that they can ever like find common ground and make peace with each other. But I absolutely think that it is legitimate to just say, you know what, this is hurting all of us. We're all involved in these dumb ass lawsuits. I mean, come on, Queen Bee, Bullhorn Betty, all of you. What's really to be gained from a lawsuit from YouTube? Oh my goodness, I love it so much. I see a little angel, y'all. She's so pretty. What are you wearing?
Her jacket.
That is a pretty jacket. Are you going on a walk with Bill?
Yeah. Get my ears.
Who? Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. Girl.
Say bye-bye,
I love
baby.
my baby girl. All right, enjoy your walk. Sorry, the grandpa is taking the baby on a walk. How sweet is that? They're so cute together. Thank you, just another human. Aren't you sweet? Thank you so much. I appreciate that more than you know. All right. So, no, Ginger, that was actually my granddaughter. Yes, my little sweetheart. Yeah, so yeah, I don't think that they're gonna like make peace, but they could definitely just say, look, we're all being dumbasses. We're all gonna have to be out money because of these stupid lawsuits, and this is just stupid. Like, it's just, where is it gonna get you? In truth, where does it get you? Absolutely nowhere. It gets you nowhere. None of you have any money. I mean, the reason that I say that about none of you have any money is this. What are you going to do? What are you going to say? I'm going to sue you for that can of pork and beans? Like, what are you going to, what you going to sue for? It's just silly. So, if you sue Home Depot, then yeah, maybe you earn through your lawsuit, maybe you get enough money that it's a life-changing amount of money, right? True. What the hell are you going to get from each other? Like, sincerely, I'm going to sue you for all the ramen noodles that you have in your pantry. Stop. Just stop. It's just silly. I'm going to sue you for your YouTube channel. Y'all, really, this is the saddest situation concerning this missing kid and the weird creator drama. It is, I just finally couldn't take it. After last night, I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to say, what is happening? What's wrong with you guys? Why are you doing this? In what way do you benefit? And Jay, to now you've escaped kind of getting brushed up into all these lawsuits that are going around. But man, you've got so many bullying videos that are up. You're using other people's, faces for your thumbnails. It's only a matter of time for them to come to you. And there's so much there on your Everyday with Jay. There's so much there. You could end up in a lawsuit yourself. Why would you take that chance? I mean, you've had other lawsuits, right? And those have turned out, I mean, you've done pretty good in those, but man, it just seems so, I don't know. It seems like way too much anxiety and frustration for there to be any good to come out of it. It just seems nuts at this point. So, I don't really, watching Brittany over all these months, hell, it's even been a couple of years actually. I get her lawsuit. I get why she brought a lawsuit, because she asked so many times for y'all to leave her alone. She cried so many times begging, please stop. Please leave me alone. I left the drama community. I'm no longer in the drama community. Now I'm doing true crime. Why can't y'all leave me alone? Why are you guys following me from the bullshit drama community over here to true crime? Why are you doing that? It was heartbreaking if you have been following her for years. It's heartbreaking what they've done. It is easy to see when you watch the progression, kind of like I went through the videos on Jay's channel today. If you go through, if you take the time to look at the years and what happened in each of those years, it's so easy to see the targeting that Granny's Watching did against Brittany. There were a couple more people involved. They've fallen out now. They're no longer paying attention to all this mess anymore. And how Granny's Watching attracted Jay, and then Queen Bee got attracted because of Bullhorn Betty. And it was this case, Sebastian Rogers, that brought all of these kind of peripheral arguments, these peripheral fights, brought them all together here, being led by none other than Christopher Proudfoot. It's crazy. And now you're all sitting in lawsuits. Do you guys really believe that your subscribers are going to give you enough money to pay for your attorneys? Because I've done a $50,000 retainer. Been there. It's not a joke. And here's the problem. When they go through your retainer money, the attorneys, when they go through your retainer money and they come back and they say, hey, I need another, you guys said 15,000. Mine was 50. They just come back and say, I need another 50. If you don't have it, all the work that was done beforehand, it's all for nothing. So if you're not prepared to dig in with big dollars, it's just incredible. Yeah, Bullhorn Betty is, I think, what do I want to say about Bullhorn Betty? I was horrified. I'll say this. Hear me out, okay? All the way through. So with Kylie Rodney and the little boy, can't remember his name right now. I was horrified by Betty's behavior. It was wrong. And even Summer Wells' case, the behavior was terrible. It was terrible. And she didn't care. She did not care. She said, I know I'm being offensive, and I'm being offensive on purpose because nobody else will do it. And if you make them uncomfortable enough, then they'll have to come clean and tell the truth. Well, that's not exactly. Yeah, Quentin Simon. Thank you, Moonlight View. G-Dub has stated she's not paying an hourly amount. Said something like her and her attorney worked something out. Who is G-Dub? Oh, Granny's Watching. Okay. Worked it out, huh? I don't know about you, but attorneys are trying to make a living, right? Sage, you're doing it again, honey. And you cannot go on the walk with the baby. All right? I know you love him. He's going to be back, okay? Quit crying. You're all right. I'm sorry about the dog crying, y'all. Yeah, attorneys they need to make some money. They're not there to help you. They're doing a job. That's how they live. So sure, I mean, I'm sure they worked something out, but how do you work something out with someone who doesn't have a job? Like Granny's watching doesn't work as far as what she's let be known in YouTube. So what's she paying with? I don't know. The whole thing seems odd to me. I know I've been through it. I know what it cost. And yeah, they may say, like I said, for me, it was $50,000 retainer. And they let you know real quick, if we run out, if this happens or this happens and we have to do more, it's going to be another $50,000 up front. And you got to get into it knowing full well, we may be looking at 100, 150K. Are the potential benefits worth that amount of money? Right? So you originally reach out, you're all mad and butthurt, you want to file a lawsuit, correct? And then you go, okay, I got that. 50,000, I can handle that, no problem. Until they get to the point where they say, now then, if this issue happens and we have to do something else, then we're going to run over and you're going to have to put up another 50,000. And then I'm going, okay, 100,000. That's a whole different ball game right now. And that can be dependent on the potential win. You may decide it's worth that gamble. You may decide, hey, I stand to make 300,000 or 500,000 million. That 100,000 is worth it. Versus, no, there's no way that I can afford to lose 50,000 or 100,000. I'm not even going to go through with this. I'm just going to have to get a therapist and figure out how to get over it. Right. So it's weird to me to believe that someone is just like goes to an attorney and says, here's the problem. I need to, I'm being sued or I want to counter sue or whatever, and I need help. Now, if it's just defending yourself against an accusation in civil court, that's not nearly the price as if you're countersuing, high amount of money. If you're countersuing, or if it's a criminal nature, that's real money, y'all. It's big, uncomfortable money. It's weird for me to think of we worked something out. Like that's a weird thought. Okay, my attorney is, hey, Team Doocy Doo. My attorney is $250 an hour, right? She's very good at what she does. I started with a $5,000 retainer. When it gets down, you refill it. I'm right at $15,000 on a community property settlement. Listen to that, guys. This is community property. This is something that the laws are very clear. The laws are very clear, and it's going to cost you that much. What about something, though, like slander, defamation? Okay, that is not clear. That is very difficult to prove. There has got to be pristine evidence. So we're talking about a lot of time, a lot of money. You need private investigators to find information. It is very hard for me to believe that anyone would say, sure, I'll represent you and I'm not going to make any money over something boring. It's not even like an interesting case that could bring you notoriety. Isn't this the second lawyer she wasted her subs money on for this case? I have no idea, sweet Sativa. I don't know anything about it. I don't watch it. I'm bored with it. She made $5,000 in a few hours, crowdfunding her lawsuit against Brit. $5,000 in a few hours? That is so bizarre. And who would do that? There is no way that I would go, okay, guys, I need you guys to give me $5,000. So could everybody give me $100? And if we all put in a little bit, then I'll get my $5,000. That is so crazy. Absolutely not. Absolutely not under any circumstances. She lives with mom and dad. It's not like she has a mortgage or rent to pay. She's a bum. But she doesn't work, does she, Sweet Sativa? Does she work? Yes, and he had a proven affair and a second home. I'm not playing with him. Who had a Team Doocy Doo. Man, I am so sorry you're going through that. What a jerk. Man, some people are ridiculous. Man, I am so sorry that you're dealing with that, Team Doocy Doo. So sorry. What a jackass. I don't know him, but I can say that. Okay. So, yeah, that seems strange. But anyway, my point here, your ability to target, ostracize, torture another YouTube creator, and you think it's fun, you're getting sadistic delight from that. That doesn't equate to you're a badass. That means you've got some serious psychological problems. Normal people do not like to see other people suffer. Let me ask. Okay, we've got some people in here. How many of you guys enjoy seeing people suffer? If you like watching people get embarrassed or cry or get hurt and upset, put a 1. If you hate to see someone suffer, you can't stand it, put a 2. And if you are one of those people that you try to hurt people because it's great to be the one that harms another person, put a 3. Y'all watch this. Watch the answers here. It is human nature to relieve suffering. We don't like other people to suffer. We don't like that. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. Look at these answers. Not a single person has said, oh, I love it. And nobody said, I want to be the one that's hurting. And so, Jay, when you go live night after night after night after night, telling vicious lies, what's wrong with you? Why are you so different than everyone else? Same thing. The rest of these weird channels that love bullying and hurting people. Why? What's good about it? It's really strange. Oh man, me too, music Tourette's. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. Yep. Couldn't stomach those channels before the drama and bullying. No, you can't even watch it. It's obscene. Obscene. Oh, okay, good, Team Doocy Doo. Then you can call him an asshole too. But I'll call him an asshole for you, okay? Yeah, it's really sad and it's pointless. What are you going to get out of it? What are you going to get out of suing each other? What are you going to get out of dragging each other, taking your subs money? Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to do it? It doesn't make any sense. Brittany is trying to stay at home with her kids during the day, and she's willing to stay up all night long doing a YouTube channel to make some money. how is that bad? How is it bad? It's just unbelievable. I would think that Stephen Crabtree mixing up his drug test, showing that he was actually misleading everyone, and then he ran over to Cletus, Daddy Cletus, to save the day, for Cletus to, maybe Cletus is a more effective fraudster than Stephen. Why didn't that make people mad? Why didn't people say, why are you lying to us? We didn't ask you to take a drug test. We didn't ask you to do that. So why did you do it? Why do you lie to us? No, this group that likes them, they thought that was just hunky-dory. They thought that was just fine. So bizarre. They go after those people that messed with the white blob picture. They go after them so hard. I mean, they are crucifying a couple of these creators. But they didn't crucify Jay, and that's where the blob came from, was Jay's original Ruckus video, which was nothing more than super zoom on the lights over the garage, and there were some branches and leaves in front of it. It made it look like people. Nobody crucified her. Why? So that's the Mean Girl group, right? That's the Milgram Studies group. That's the 2/3 of the world are weak followers. So if you have been crucifying Justin for All, or some of those other creators that were really getting into the photo modification, if you have been crucifying them, but you give a pass on your Queen Jay, you are like 2/3 of the population. You are a weak, ineffective follower who's willing to induce harm on innocent victims. That's not really something that you should aspire to, in my opinion. Brittany is doing something she enjoys. People enjoy watching Brittany. They do enjoy listening to Brittany. Yes, they absolutely, her channel is growing. She's done very well. And many people are so upset about the way that Jay and Granny's Watching and Queen Bee, people are really sick of it. They really are. I don't know why they won't leave her alone. They act like they're crazy. They act like they're insane. And I don't mean that from, a clinical perspective. I mean crazy, like socially, like making no sense what you're doing because it's fun. Stop. Even Cletus, what the fuck, man? Cletus, damn, that's so damn disappointing. Cletus, where I grew up, where I live, men, like real men, they don't get into all this nonsense. They don't care about the silly women, power struggles, cat fights. Shit, you crawled right up in the middle of it. How gross. Why? Did Clue order you to do that? Why would you do that? That was so dumb. That song that you did was so dumb. And you're supposed to be a grown-ass man. Why? What did this young woman do to you? Nothing. She didn't do anything to you. She didn't do a goddamn thing to Stephen Crabtree. She didn't do anything to any of you except Granny's Watching. And it happened years and years ago with Natasha Cooper. But all of you guys have rallied around because you are following the great and powerful Oz. Christopher Proudfoot, SF Investigates. Isn't that right, Cletus? That's why you did it. You did it for the approval of your boy. Well, your boy is a psychopathic deviant who beats children. So you may want to consider that next time. The Duck Dynasty looking dude is not a man. Look at what he's... I can't say that. So he's a diva. Cletus is so connected to the Proud Feet. He looks like a little boy going after the girls in the play yard, defending anything that comes up. I totally agree, Irony Rose. Totally agree. Yeah. Oh, I think Chris is calling all the shots. He thinks that he's invincible. He thinks he's smarter than everybody else. From the very beginning, he was all up in the middle of this whole YouTube community thing, true crime, and he believed that we were all dumbasses and that he was going to be able to go on YouTube channels and manipulate all of us the same exact way that he was able to manipulate Cletus, Stephen Crabtree, Cluminati. Oh my God, Queen Bee, you were literally drooling when he came up on your channel. You were fangirling in a way that was downright humiliating. Why? Were you guys listening when Nina talked about him backhanding a little boy, saying he had to learn to man up? Why are you fangirling over this joker? My God. Well, he's really nice when people aren't coming for him. He backhanded a small child. Like, try to embrace that. It's bizarre that you guys are oblivious to the violence that this asshole has put out there. It's unbelievable. But I don't care about all these other peripheral things. The reality is what you guys are doing to Brittany is, I think it's unforgivable. I think that if she wins the lawsuit, I think she ought to go after YouTube next and have all of you taken down. You're using your channels as weapons. You're using your channels to assault her livelihood. And once she wins the lawsuit, she's going to turn all those documents over to YouTube. Then they can act. It's just it's hard to believe that you guys have you've put yourselves in this unbelievable situation. It's hard to believe. I felt like that with Critical K and Andriacchio, Christian Andriacchio, his mother. Critical K on her channel said that Christian Andriacchio's mother was writing prescriptions for addicts in the local town, and that this two kids that Critical K convinced herself that she was going to kind of like white knight for them, that Christian Andriacchio's mom wrote the prescriptions that got him addicted and got Christian addicted to drugs, yada, yada, yada. So Critical K says this on her YouTube channel. And they sent cease and desist. And Andriacchio's family said, you got to quit. She is a nurse practitioner. She works in the community. You are destroying her reputation. Like, they did everything to make Critical K stop, and she wouldn't stop. I don't know why, but she wouldn't. And, she'll never be out of debt. She owes them something like $600,000. She'll never, ever, ever get ahead, ever financially. She'll live her life absolutely in poverty because of this lawsuit that she lost. This is not a game. And for the life of me, I can't understand why you guys are not thinking into the future and asking yourselves, what do I have to lose? None of you have anything to sue each other for. None of you. So what comes of this? It's really tragic. Oh yeah, Lolo. Oh my God, it was terrible. You should read about it. It was unbelievable. I think it almost criminal, and don't understand why she will not take out legal charges, real legal charges. She wants to be left alone. That is all. In fact, in this lawsuit, you know what she's asked for? Brittany has not asked for not $1. She's not suing Granny's Watching for a penny. She is saying, stop talking about me. Stop lying about me. Stop gossiping. Stop. Leave me in peace. Forget that you know me. That's all she's asking for. Can you believe that? It's going to be nasty. It's going to be so damn nasty. Right, Ginger? Yeah, I can still hear my mamaw saying, God don't like ugly. You know, be careful what you say. It just makes you wonder how all these people were raised that they think this is normal behavior. I mean, obviously, Granny's Watching has been bullying people for a long time because the name Granny's Watching actually came from her bullying Natasha Cooper. I mean, is that all you do, GW? You just go around just bullying whoever you want to? Why? You like it? It feels good? You like the power? Like what is that? What's happening there? I don't think that's true about Jay, and I think that Jay is she's smart, right? Jay is smart. She makes great content. People like her. The fact that she's doing this to Brittany is just bizarre. I mean, it's just, have you just lost sight of your channel? You don't care? Are you hard up for money? Are you chasing the content that gets you the most views? Because right now, after going through your 2 channels, it is easy to see the only thing that you're getting any real views on is when it's Brittany J. That's the only thing you're getting views on, Jay. And I don't think that makes you feel good. I really don't. So instead of joining in this war, why don't you just do what you do and come up with a new case to follow? You're good at that. It's just weird that you're throwing everything away for this. It's weird. And I don't think Jay is involved in a lawsuit. She has been in the past, but I don't think now she is. Irony, yes, that's what they do. If you speak up, they get worse. But YouTube will take it down, I think, once law enforcement is done investigating. I feel it's due to the ongoing investigation that these channels remain. Yeah, I don't know, because the terms of service says, like 4 videos in a row is bullying or something like that. Shit. Jay has gone so far past that. Cluminati has gone so far past that, and the channels remain. I don't know if people are reporting them or not. Do y'all think people are reporting them? I like to at one point, and then she changed. She actually has a live coming on tonight about how to get a free lawsuit with Brittany's picture on it. Golly. Well, she's obviously just trying to get views, and her going through her channel, the content that's getting her views right now is Brittany. Yeah, that's really sad. So there are people that are reporting it, huh? You can do that. I don't remember how it's done. Let me look at one. Let's see. We can just look at this one. Okay, so you go to where the flag is, report, hateful and abusive content, choose one, promotes hatred, abusing vulnerable individuals, or abusive title or description. So, harassment. Yeah, here it is. Harassment or bullying. And when you click that, then it says this is harassing me or this is harassing someone else. And then you go to next. And then you put the timestamp of whatever egregious terms of service problem that is in the video. And then you can write and explain what your position is. And then you click report. And that's how easy it is. So you go over to where the 3 dots are, you go to report, and then you go to harassment or bullying. This is harassing me, or this is harassing someone else. Next. And then, yeah, timestamp and whatever you want to say. So it's, it's not hard to do, but after 3 months, 3 months of the same content over and over is very difficult. And again, what's the outcome? Like what's the goal? How will things be good? What do you stand to win? That's an awfully big picture. Let me put something else up there. Let me find something to put up there quick. There we go. How about that? Gotta put it on loop though. I'll put it on that. How about that? I love that. I love that, giraffe. Okay. So if you don't mind, please hit the thumbs up before you leave. Put your number in the side chat. Also, I don't have a regular upload schedule, so if you subscribe, then you'll get a notification and you know that I'm either going live or I've already put something up. And yeah, that helps my channel grow and that helps other people find the content. And I don't do drama, so it was weird for me to talk about this stuff today, but I did feel like it was apropos. I felt like this has been something that's really been bothering me for a long time, and you guys are causing real pain, and you should stop what you're doing. I mean, the lawsuits are already out. Queen Bee's got lawsuits. Bullhorn Betty's got lawsuits. Brittany's got lawsuits. Granny's Watching's got lawsuits. The labs, I think the labs got lawsuits. They're everywhere. Please stop. Ask yourself, what good will come from this? You've got to, what you're doing when you find yourself in a lawsuit, counter responding, whatever, you are gambling with your life. You're gambling with your future income. It's not worth it unless there's, a serious harm. Like if I had been Dawn Wells, I would have totally sued Bullhorn Betty for getting me fired from my work. And that's not a judgment against whether I like Betty or not. It is, she did in fact go up on the job site and created a ruckus and got him fired. I mean, she was happy about that. So I think now it's different. I don't think she's quite that aggressive. Maybe I'm wrong. She may be. I don't know. I don't talk to her. We're not friends or anything. So, but man, what are you going to win if you find yourself in a YouTube lawsuit? I mean, just don't understand the goal. With Brittany, she is asking to be left alone. Granny's watching. She's saying to you, stop talking about me. Stop telling lies about me. Stop mistreating me. Leave me in peace. Let me focus on my channel. You focus on your channel. And to tell you the truth, Granny's Watching, that is reasonable. It's reasonable. The judge is going to laugh their ass off. They're going to laugh. They're going to laugh. It's going to be amazing. All right. Let's see. Are we done now? I copy and paste for BJ. Seth, I have a little paragraph depending on whom. At least this should be documented with YouTube if a larger suit is to take place. Thank you, momming it up. That is very kind of you. I mean, irony rose. It's really disturbing, isn't it? It's really disturbing. The changes have been huge. Granny is compelled. She couldn't stop it before. She can't stop it now. It's a compulsion. Yeah. I mean, it is strange. I'll tell you what, if somebody was suing me, I damn sure would not be talking about them on my YouTube every day. Would not. we all have reported nonstop, so I can't rationalize it. YouTube's not making much on these creators. I don't think enough report these videos. It's Granny's watching sounds like she's unhinged. It's supposed to be terms of service that you are not allowed to make more than 3 videos in a row on a single creator. Never mind the bullying and harassment. Jay and GW are both risking their YouTube channels. It's so crazy. So if they make 3 videos in a row against the same creator, that is a violation of terms of service. Is that true? Because if that's true, if I was Brittany or somebody else, I'd pay the money to get and tell my attorney, go after YouTube, make them support, make them enforce the terms of service. I mean, how's that going to hurt YouTube? It's weird. Agree, the analyst. Agree. Who's? Oh my God, she's the analyst. She is livid. You can hear it in every word she says. It's really disturbing. I don't even know what a free lawsuit is. Lawsuits are never free, people. Never. They are expensive and they are uncomfortable. Jules, do you think these people were bullied in their life at some point? I mean, it's a certainty. Ginger. Yeah. Someone taught them to act that way, right? I mean, have you ever thought about doing that? Picking one creator you didn't like and then driving them into the hellhole? Shit. No, people don't act that way. Normal people don't act that way. You don't even have the desire to hurt them. It's weird that they love it so much. It's weird. Jay can absolutely hold an audience, no doubt. She's smart. She's got a good personality, which just makes it all the more confusing why she's chosen to do this. It's so crazy. Hey, DB, so good to see you. All right, Lady of Angels, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You are a longtime friend, and I really, really appreciate you. Just another human. Always learn something here. Thank you. No, thank you for being here. I am glad you're a part of our community. All right, everybody. Please hit the thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button. Please turn on your notifications. And I'll be back. It was wonderful to talk to you guys. And, share the video as much as as little as you want. I don't care. Makes me no never mind.
Well, I'm sitting in my chair late at night, watching crime unfold under the pale moonlight. From the darkest corners, stories unfold. True crime jewels, she's brash and she is bold. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From missing kids in Tennessee to angry husbands named Barry, true crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This true crime jewel's got what you need. From missing people to twisted minds, we're unraveling secrets old Barry tried to hide. Every clue, every twist and turn. In the world of crime, there's always more to learn. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From Christopher's anger to Stephen Fisher's lies, the truth is calling and justice won't be denied. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. True crime jewels on the YouTube streets. Lights are low, suspense is high. We're chasing truth, we spot every lie. Step into the darkness, hold on tight. Two flashlights out there in the dead of night. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep. Barry Morphew's case is hot. A boy in Tennessee won't be left behind. From the coldest cases to the ones that shine, true crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This true crime jewel's got what you need. We're always watching Barry and waiting for the truth. In the world of crime, we discuss the proof. So hit that play and join the true crime journey with Jewels of Thought and her gemstone family.